Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to all of you, wherever you may be. We are on Revolution platform, transmitting from African Magic Temple in Accra, Ghana, precisely Spinters Road. My name is Christopher Voncujovi, and I am your Bokor, who is hosting the program today. Thank you for joining us. How are you all? Are you all taking good care of yourself during this COVID-19 period, season? Please take care of yourselves, and I want to see you every Sunday afternoon. Thank you very much. Please bring your questions, share whatever we are discussing today with your friends wherever you are. Share, and let people join us. Today we are wearing our own traditional African mask, Ghanaian mask with a kente. As you can see, our people became very innovative all of a sudden, and people started sewing all kind of face masks because we could not get the ones in the market, the ones that are imported, like this N95 one is so expensive. I think about one of them is, if I'm not lying, is about 40 or 50 Ghana cedis, which is about $10 or something like that. And how many people can afford to get those ones? So people became innovative, and then they are making this one our own. Of course, it is not as perfect as this one, but it is better than not wearing anything. So we are advising people that when they are using this one, they should make sure they have a tissue paper, put the tissue inside this thing so that it can, you put a tissue inside this way. Then when you have the tissue in and you wait, then it can give you some extra protection. Yes. So this is what it is, and we are here. So please send in your questions, and I'm here to answer you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. We have from Ashilia, J. He says, peace and love, family.
Thank you very much, Asheria. Thank you very much for joining us.
Really, William says, rising, grand rising, hoping all is well.
Thank you very much. Everything is fine. We are managing, and we are still alive for now. And we hope to be alive after the COVID-19 is gone.
Fribua Amakwa
Hello.
says, Father, if I have initiated to vodu, can I communicate with the water spirit in my village that I'm not initiated into?
It depends, because if you are not initiated into some voodoo, the voodoo does not know you, and you don't know the voodoo. During initiation, you are introduced to a particular voodoo, or you are introduced into the psychic world. In our African Magic Temple initiation, when we initiate you, we open you into the psychic world. And the psychic world is where everything spirit is. So we open you into the psychic world, and then you can communicate with almost every voodoo if you know their names and you know their incantation. But at African Magic Temple, we will just open that door for you and also initiate you into some of the voodoos that we have, and then you can start communicating with them. And then later, if you get more initiations, you can communicate with any other voodoo anywhere.
That's the only question we have for now. But we have Diamond S. It says blessings. Said blessings, Papa and family.
Thank you very much, Diamond. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, Pilas says, Good morning and blessings from Maryland, USA.
Thank you, Pierre. How are you? Thank you very much, and blessings from African Magic Temple to you also.
Kadi Fisher says greetings from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello, my dear Kadi. How are you? Thank you for joining us. How is the family? Hope everything is fine with you. I don't know whether you people can hear my voice very well or I'm speaking like an elephant.
Friva Amangwa says, I will let you know if I receive the package from tomorrow.
Okay, Fredua. Yeah, today is the 19th and hopefully tomorrow being the 20th, maybe it will get to you. So let me know when you receive it, then I can also guide you what to do.
Angie G. Fisher says, blessings family from Conyers, Georgia, USA.
Georgia. Hello, Angie. Good afternoon from Ghana. How are you? How is everything with your family? How is Torisi? Hope you are all fine. And Madam William, how is she doing now? Hope everything is fine. And thank you for joining us. And I'll be answering your questions. So prepare questions that are bothering you and then ask me and I'll answer you.
Claudio, Ifa Webida says greetings from Barcelona, Spain.
Hello, Claudia. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, my brother. Bodami, Baoni. How are you? Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon.
Ifa Dara says greetings, Papa and family, Augusta, Georgia.
Hello, big sister Ifa Dara. Thank you. I'm very happy that you have joined. This is one of the. But you are not in a lockdown. Being a health worker, I don't think you can be in a lockdown. But I know you are very busy. But thank you very much for joining us this afternoon with our question and answer section on Revolution platform, the Vodu education.
Eden, come on, join.
Hello, Eden. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I think everybody is at home, so you should share. Let people watch us. Everybody is at home, so let them join us. And now that people are joining us, I have gone to pray outside already before coming to sit down. But because of the network situation, we are having the difficulty with the network. That's why these days we are not bringing the camera to the outside before praying. So maybe from next week, if we can get some our other technical partners to join us, then we can be possible. But now it's only the Seiram and Kofi. They are the only two people handling it for the past 3 weeks. And they are still in the learning stage, but they are doing their best. So that's why we are limited. So maybe from next week going, when they lift, after the next week, they lift our lockdown. We don't know, but if they do, then I believe Said Nyaku will join us, and he is our main technical director. He will join us and then fix everything. But let us just manage whatever we can do now. So I am now going to pray here, and then get your questions ready while I am praying. Then after my prayer, you can start asking me questions. Me cho atopare me aku ahami adame me otan kwa bichi ngoro refere me me loke oh ago mauga sobolisa me do ago mauga kitikata me do ago mauga ese joto amejoto ese na anu ame ese te anu ame wo me no bevi dokuno bevi woman of me be an docuno of you, but I docuno of me be a woman of you, will. A senior popolipo, a se gla a me gla, a senior Georgie, me Georgie, a sena nuame, a senti and nuame, me yora singing. Well, honey, Yeme yo mi no zoje anyi duzo kakachika ziboje adreme ya la fa benya gbolo mi la pe ku benya gbolo mi joro hon yeme yo rake woni anyi gba ma do flo afokla anyi gba ma do adika woni ablu ma teku etega o akan gbecho be kan ngoni wa kan jefo ba kan buzu wa kan trovo ba kan menyu ba kan difi ba kan mami wa ta ba kan je ba kan peli pa vi megba haja do wa ko pre ba mo do jifi to so mo to do yo mo ya mi nu do mo ya mi khogba be wa ka ku wa pe mi o zango me mi pre vi ke yo ra ke wo jo pata jo maku afoka me vole mo yo chi me vole fu do me gberi okukuru ku atole fofo me jobo ni o he be jobo ni me to ya mo moju to adu kwa re pe be yin le pe me gbe to ba jo tu so ko le du mo no to fe ka jo pata be le happy jo von ba jo yin jo pata be fia jo pata e tro me gbe da mo lo fi fa gbe ri edina jo pata re na fi mi anjo lo jọpata ẹ tẹfẹ mẹ yọ ọmọ sẹmẹ gbọdìrẹ tó tọgbẹ dẹńtà pàpẹ lùtì zùgbòlù àjìmà ògbójúkúrò dọjà lọfẹ ńkọmẹ valentine bá fẹmẹ vàá lójó nà pẹfù àgọsà pàtẹ mẹ yọ àtìgẹlì mẹ yọ kóró bẹni mẹ yọ kékeré àlàáfíà èyẹ mẹ yọ amẹgà sẹsẹ gẹjà pàpà sẹsẹ kẹkẹ sẹsẹ tọgbẹ gẹjẹ pàpà ha mẹ yọ brahini mẹ yọ gbọgbọchi mẹ yọ ngbẹ foli kọkọ mọdẹ kọ gòmìnir bòdò kúchẹ kúmà kọmìnàgà tọgbẹ nyẹmẹ nà yọ eto nkospre kuma yo no nyakoso go kuma yo funi ko geje tasi nyamo o si fusi jam koso abra ko bra me mama nyambo dwe mba me yo to bonya go kofi akubia mensa dore epe mbe pekuno ko hare na nyo peti mo yo ponya Celestine ya wa kubia Katrina kubia funya sense ko funya ya ben akubia me yo awu no tuji boko tuji to tuji me yo kini hasa ko nti dabe bara su bara bonana me yo ra keke me yo boko ada fliso agbovi me no aha boko afacha wa joge me na ha ekuto me ne fa na ni gongongongongo me na gbogbo ne fa na nya kudu bi chema no yo mi aso an bo chicha chupa kubia sisi ya pe ne kate pe mensa mbapa me na ku dagbe vida gbe asi dagbe ne ba oh akai ya wele to me ya dagbe ne ba mi je dogo me mi Facebook live wo mi ada si asime na mi ade egbe to me na mi po lure na ma po mi abegbe wuse mele asinyu mi auto enyo wuse enyere ko mele mi agbo abevi la tata ni me nyande ko mi awo benu nya ye mi afia mbe e ma ko afia mo ta me fia mo na ma fia mo ache questions odo
Yes. We have many questions.
we are ready now, so please share and we'll be at work. Wow.
Shamba Musa.
Hello, Shamba. How are you? I have sent the. You look on your WhatsApp. You see that I have sent you some photocopy of the postage. So it's on the way coming.
It says greeting, Baba.
Thank you very much, Shamba. How are you? Thank you very much. And how is your mom? Tell her I have sent the bangle. It's on its way coming.
Kadi Fisher.
Hello, Kadi.
Says we are all fine.
We thank God.
To come home soon.
Yes, you will. You will come home soon. And you're coming this time. When you come home, I will want you people to stay longer. I know that you are working, of course, but I will want you people to stay longer so that you can enjoy the peace of Ghana, and then and think of one day coming to settle in Ghana. You can be doing business with America, but you can settle here. Once you lay your groundwork and everything over there, you can be here and have your connection. Hello, Ifamuabu.
Jayon, he says good morning, Bokor from Trinidad.
Hello, my brother. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Kadi Fisher again, he says our children are doing a great job. We appreciate you, young man.
Yeah, brother. Yes. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all too. Yes. Hello, my sister. How are you?
He says greetings from Biro.
Hello. Thank you. How are you? How is the family? Hope you are taking good care of yourself. I heard that Germany is about to lift the ban on the lockdown. But then please be careful and take care of yourself.
He says, can you talk about the spirits who are connected to the earth in our tradition?
Okay. Yes, I can speak briefly on that. There is the major spirit that the Avis speak about to all of us is the Anigba. Anigba, which is the earth. itself. It's a spirit. So when you may not know what I was saying, but I was spraying that Anyigba Majo floor. It's okay. Anyi dizo kakachika zigbozi adre wenye Anyigba Majo floor. Afokla Anyigba Omoduadika, which is saying that the spirit is called Kakachika, but then its real name is the F or Mother F, Gaia, as it is called in Hinduism or in India, Gaia. The F is called Anyigba. And in Ewe culture or in vodu culture, there is an initiation which they will do to initiate you with the Mother F, and you have to eat together with the Mother F. And that initiation is believed that when you are initiated with the Mother F, when you are walking on the F, nobody can use any spiritual force, negative spiritual force, to take you away until it is your own time. So we do that, and Anyigba is you are initiated. So it's the main Anyigba or F, Mother F. That's what we call Anyigba in Ewe, and I think Yorubas are calling Aye. Aye. And also the vodu Sapata or Sapate. Anyigbato is the vodu Sapata or Sapate is called Anyigbato, means the owner of the earth. And it's that the vodu of epidemic that you will see probably on the Revolution page, and it has been featured a lot. And in the article that was written recently by the Religious Studies University in Utrecht in Netherlands had also written about us and explaining what we are doing and what we are teaching in this pandemic time. So vodu Sapata is one of the vodus that is connected to the F or Mother F, and then of course the Mother F itself is also a vodu on its own, and the Ewes have given it name because it's our mother, is the one who gives us food and make us grow, and when we die, she is the one who hides our dead body or corpse until we will regenerate one day in another part of the same F. So that is how much I can say about the spirits that are connected. There are many other spirits who are connected to the Mother F or to Anyigba, but I cannot know all. But the most important ones among the Ewe cosmology, which almost every Ewe has some idea, is the Mother F and itself, and also Sapata as a vodu, which the Yorubas are calling Babalu Aye Gaia. Yes, so that's what I can talk about. Any questions?
She would like to know more about the spirit associated with the heart in everything.
The heart. I'm not very sure if I know which spirit is associated with the heart, honestly speaking. But then Togbe Ablakpo is one of the spirits that we, the Ewes, we use, or those who know, not everybody, but also an Ewe spirit called Ablakpo. Inside the Akpo means sack in Ewe. So the name of the voodoo means the container, the sack, Akpo, the sack, or I think in Yoruba also Akpo means sack or pocket, sack. So in Ewe too, Akpo means sack. So the voodoo that lives inside the sack, we call it Ablakpo. And inside the Togbe Ablakpo, there are so many different things. The name of the head, heart, eyes, nose, ear, nose, legs, and everything. They are all they are all inside this voodoo, and then it's a process to do, and we have it in two forms. We call the small one soldier V, means small soldier, and this is a big soldier. So in this voodoo, it's a very secret voodoo, and we don't mention its name or the names of the parts of the physical body, because the time that you mention those names is either you are doing a healing, then you mention the name of the heart in the healing, or someone attacks you and you want to defend yourself. Either you want the person to have a headache, have a heart attack, or have a stomach ache, or become blind, or whatever. Then you know the name that you will call in order to destabilize the person, so that the person will not be able to attack you. So the names of Akpo are not usually called. You know, when I was praying to all the spirits here, he was telling me that I haven't given him drink for a while. Since we started using this gallery, I've not been giving drink. He told me that I pretended as if I did not listen. Then you came with the question that whichever way he must be brought here so that I give it. That's why I was smiling, because he already said it, that I have not been giving him drink since we moved from the office to the gallery. I have not been giving him drink, because usually when we pray, we give him also drink during that time. But since we moved into the gallery and we have started transmitting from the gallery, I have not been giving him drink. So he told me already when I was praying to this Akai and all this, because he would have been the third spirit or voodoo for me to give drink, but because it's not closer to me, I ignore it. But then he just reminded me, and then your question came, and then I have to bring him out. So talking about this is your drink. This voodoo is, there's a lot of things in it. It's not one voodoo. It's I cannot say, it's just too many voodoos inside this one. And if you have this voodoo only as your voodoo and you know how to work it, you are okay. You are okay. You only put things from inside into your mouth and mention, you put your hand in like this without looking inside. You grab whatever you can grab. Oh, it's too many things. Okay. Whatever you can grab from inside, you keep in your mouth. Then you say what you want to say, and bam, the thing happens. So that's how this. So this is one of the voodoos that I know is connected to the heart, the human heart, and not only the heart, but to many other things. So it's lucky that I have to. Because of your question, I have to bring it out today to this place. But it's okay. For the voodoo is happy because it's also part of the whole team. Yes, Yanifa, I hope I have answered your question. Who is free? I'm going to go ahead to come. Yes, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Bedford. Yero.
Ahamide la kuidenu mi gonna quit for me jira hareke me magana me yo. Yeah, Kainde.
Says greetings, brother.
Hello, Kainde. How are you? Thank you very much.
Says, how often do uninitiated diviners like Bokor come along? How often do uninitiated diviners like Bokor come along? Says he saw a post about him. And can you please elaborate?
No, he is not uninitiated. He is initiated. He was initiated. But then he was born in the shrine. The mother was a Tronkoshi. The mother was a Tronkoshi. I don't know whether you have heard about Tronkoshi. A lot of time people are calling it Trokosi. It is not called Trokosi. It's called Tronkoshi. Means servant of the throne or servant of the voodoo. And then Westerners, because of Christianity, they want to destroy all our everything that we have, they came and said that the Trokoshi system is slavery and all this thing. They don't really understand what the Trokoshi system is. It is a system where someone committed a crime, and people who were the victims of the crime who had gone into the vodu or to any vodu and reported it that the vodu should find justice for them. By doing so, the vodu will now start doing negative things in the perpetrator's family. People will be dying, so many things will be happening to people, and there will be no peace. And when they don't know what is happening to them, and they do a reading or go to do a consultation somewhere, and they are told that there is a voodoo that is attacking you, that's why you are going through the predicaments you are going through, then the perpetrators' families will now go to the voodoo house to find a solution to the problem that they were having. There are some tron, which we call a tron in Ewe. A tron that until you give a tron a child, you will never stop destroying. Tron. So that is why the tron that are tron are very powerful thrones, and you will always wish that you don't do anything bad, that your case or your matter will be taken to the house or the shrine of a Trohovi to judge. In the case of a Trohovi, when it judges, it will take a child from the family which are the perpetrators to come and be serving in the shrine before they forgive or until they pay whatever it has charged before stopping killing. The Etron will not stop killing people. So Etron Koshi is usually a child which the parents or the family come together and decided that this particular person should go in to as a sacrificial lamb to go into the house of the Etron Hovi, who then to bring peace so that the throne should stop killing our people until we make money to go and pay all the things and do all the rituals to clear our name from the Etron's court. So Tobe Tuji's mother was put into Trokoshi because there was some death in the families. I'm talking about 200 years ago, 300 years ago matter. So that death continued, so they realized that there was this Tro, Tobe Ajemu, was the Tro who was killing the people. So they have sent Tobe Tuji's mother into that Tro to become a Trokoshi. So when she was there, she gave birth to Tobe Tuji. So he was born from the shrine. So he was not like uninitiated. The only thing that Tobe Tuji didn't have was he did not get Fa or Ifa or Afa, as the Eves call it. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't initiated, because Afa is not the only spiritual path that the Eves have. There are so many other spiritual paths that the Eves use. Even the area that I come from, which is Vedome, we don't use Fa at all. And that doesn't mean that we don't do divination. This mirror here, Abochi, is not have anything to do with Afa or Ifa at all. But it is a divination tool. So Tobe Tuji had been initiated, but only that he was not initiated into Fa And I had asked him this question, why were you not initiated into Fa? And he said that he did not trust most of the people who were given the initiation. And the only person he trusted that could give him a proper initiation was one of the Bokors. But unfortunately, before the initiation, or before he got his things ready for initiation, the Bokor died. Mind you, he had been seeing from the age of 4. So for him to be able to go to any person to initiate him again, he has to be very careful, because people could even do harm to him, because he is already have the sight, his sixth sense is already working very powerfully. It has been working, so he had to be very careful not to go and compromise himself with anybody, because he was the talk of the town. A lot of people talk about him, and people knew him even though he had no Fa. So if he is now going to go to a Fa Bokor for him to be initiated, what might happen? He was very careful, and he did not trust the people he was working with. So for that reason, he didn't get Afa initiation. Nevertheless, when he opened the mirror, all the Afa Odus and the Afa Dus and everything comes into the mirror, so he can call all the Afa Odus and even without being initiated. So it isn't true that he was not initiated. He was initiated, but not initiated into Fa. And you ask the question that how does those kind of people come? How many times do they come around? They can come at any time. Every child can, because we all come in with our destiny. If you are an old soul and you are lucky to get parents who are already deeper on the spiritual world, and your when the bodiless soul, which is in space, or let's say your essay is in space, your bodiless essay is there, and then you have parents who are physical, a man and a woman meet together, and then there's a conception in the womb of the lady. That bodiless soul is emitting vibration, some waves, and then this newly formed fetus in the womb of the woman too is also emitting some vibration. And if the vibration of these two are congenial, then that bodiless soul would now travel and come and dwell inside this, and now you have a being which will be born one day and become like all of us. And then what makes a woman, or what makes a super soul or an old soul to be born by somebody? It depends on the vibration of the two women, the two people, the couple in the relationship. And that is what will attract that bodiless soul to be able to come and dwell inside. The bodiless soul is not only of great men, thieves also die, criminals also die, murderers also die, and they can also be born, or they will also be, not they can, they will also be born. So if a murderer dies and his bodiless soul is waiting to be reincarnated or be born, so if a woman who is a criminal and the husband too is a criminal, and their vibration is very congenial with the vibration of, or if they have a conception takes place within the woman, and then that bodiless soul sees that, oh, these are the kind of people who's this thing, it will attract. I mean, the bodiless soul doesn't have any mind of its own, but it is the energy that will attract it into that fetus. I don't know whether you people are getting, I'm going into a deeper philosophy, whether that is what, if you people are really getting what I am saying, but this is how we are born. That's why we usually say that to have an abortion is not good. In vodu, it's not good to have an abortion, because you don't know which soul or which bodiless entity is trying to reincarnate. So if you stop them from incarnating, you will be held culpable in your life by these very entities that make life. So Tometuji was one of those people. And then the mother being a Tronkoshi and being in the shrine was a perfect place for his soul to incarnate. Thank you very much. May I have your question? Okay, let's go on to another. I'm trying to ask who asked the question. Kinde. So that is how I explain it. So Tobetuji type of people come around anytime, depending on the very this. That's why you don't just see any woman or just see any man and then jump into him, and that you want to have. If you want to have super souls, great children, great, look at the character and the behavior of the person you want to join in to have a child with, because you will give birth to the type of bodiless souls that you people are. The vibration the two of you are emanating is the type of souls that will be attracted into the world.
Ayami, we are going to YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we are now on YouTube. Questions on YouTube. Yes, go ahead.
Ayami Ajay. It says.
Ayami Ajay.
It says blessings to you and your family.
Thank you very much, Ayami. Same to you and blessings to you too.
Verse 1. Bokor, can you speak on what it means when the Moita visits you?
What is Moita? You have to explain to me, because
Motia.
My dear, Motia stories are many. A lot of them are lies. In this African traditional spirituality, if I tell you that there are no charlatans and there are no liars in it, I will be deceiving you. There's a lot of liars, people who use magical entertainment, magic tricks to lure people, to convince people to say that they have spiritual power. Most of these motia things that you are talking about, or the dwarfs as they are called in English, a lot of them are lies. I must be very honest. A lot of them are lies. And also, a lot of people who say that they are invoking the dead spirit and the dead person is speaking behind the curtain and all this thing, most of them are lies. But then, it's not my place to go and tell them what they are to do. If that's where you found yourself, through your own personal experience, you will also learn. So Motia will visit you. Yes, it can visit you if it is not by anybody telling you that the Motia is coming to visit you. If by chance you wake up in the morning and you see certain things, like when I was young, when I woke up one morning and my mom pulled out some straws from my hair. I mean, we slept, we woke up, and my mother pulled some straws, 3 straws from my hair. And I didn't know what it was, but then my mother was telling me that, oh, you have been visited by the dwarfs. That's why those straws came, because we slept in the same room, but I don't know, nobody saw any dwarf or nobody heard anything, but by just saying that, my mother said I had been visited by the dwarfs. And when the straws that she took out were not very, they were quite short. And my mother told me that the kind of women that I will be attracted to in life will be short women, not women who are tall. That's what my mother told me. And I don't know, but she is experienced. My mother is from a royal house, and the father was a traditional priest. The mother was a traditional priestess. So she probably from her childhood might have heard stories or seen certain things. Maybe that's why she immediately knew what was happening to me. But I personally, as a child, from the age of 6, 7 years, I have met a dwarf on my own, not through anybody. It was just me and the dwarf. So when you say that if Motia visits you, I don't know how Motia will visit you, but there's a lot of tricks in this thing. But then maybe when you experience it, you will know better.
we have on YouTube again because people are sending their comments through that place. We cannot ignore them. So
It's so many.
yes, not so many, but yeah, sending.
Okay, let's finish the YouTube then. Facebook people, please hold on for us a little bit. Let's answer questions on people who are also on YouTube, because we have not been on YouTube for a while. I think for the past 3 weeks, this is the first time we are coming on YouTube because of our network challenges.
It's more than 3 weeks.
More than 3 weeks, we've been having challenges. We were not able to enter onto the YouTube. But then let's go onto the YouTube and answer 1 or 2 questions, and then we will come back to you, the Facebook people. I'm here today to answer your questions, so don't worry. I will answer all. Yes, Ras? Ras 1. Yes, Ras. How are you? Thank you.
Bokor, are you familiar with Osu, to bracket wizards, as they are called in Yoruba tradition?
Osun, yeah, you're talking about a witch doctor. They call it. They put a witch doctor there?
Wizards.
Wizards. Yeah. Well, who is a wizard? It's all just a derogatory words given to people. Africans, everybody can be a wizard. When I say everybody can be a wizard, I mean to say that once you are a spiritualist, a traditional priest, you are a wizard. But who is a wizard? In our understanding of who a wizard is someone who is using his spiritual energy or power or knowledge or wisdom to be destroying other people. So there is no one particular who in this world who is a wizard that you can say Minama and the mother. It's okay. Who is a wizard? So the word wizard is an English word or a European word. We in our own language we have a word for such people. But then in Ebe we say amedula. Amedula, someone who eats human being. But then when you say eat human being, does not mean you eat it with your teeth or cook it, but then you do bad things and the human being will be wasted. Amedula in Ebe. So wizards are called amedula, but then every spiritualist can be a wizard depending on who trained you and how you look at life. So if it's called Oshun in Yoruba, yes, it is in every culture. You know, the people who are not even wizards, they're using gun and killing people. They are worse than wizards. Somebody can take gun and kill about 30 people, 40 people, 10 people, 15 people. How many people does a wizard kill anyway? No, let's face reality. And those people are okay. They take them to court and they say they should put them in jail. And the number of people they destroy is more than maybe a wizard somebody was angry and killed somebody with his spiritual power. One person, the whole world in Africa will be angry with that person and saying he's using juju or he's using whatever to kill people. And then a president or some politicians order people to be killed or give bad drinking water to their community, and a lot of people die out of that. Or they give them money to go and fix water in their communities. They keep the money in their pockets or they send it to European banks, and then their communities suffer and die. And that one is not wizard, because so long as they are not doing spiritual work, they are not wizard, they are fine. Look, forget about the European words. We know who are wizards in our society.
Tamil Jones.
Who?
Tamil Jones.
Tamil, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
From YouTube. Says,
Yes, yes.
What is the price range of initiations?
We have a very various prices. There are certain initiations that are just a single initiation. There are some initiations that are far initiation. There is an initiation into Jokpata. There is initiation into African Magic Temple, and there is an initiation into this. So, initiation can begin from as low as $1,000 up to as big as $10,000, depending on what you are being initiated into.
Raswan again says, Baba, what does it mean when the Iyami visits you in your dream.
Iyami. Iyami.
Okay.
Iyami is we call them witches. Ajay. It's not a good thing. In our belief, is it not Iyami?
Yes.
It's not Iyami. Iyami. Iya means mother in Yoruba. Iyami, my mother. Iyami, our mother. Iyawa will be our mother. So Iyami, as it is called in Ewe, we call them Ajeto or this thing. So when a witch visits you in your dream, things become bad. Why should they visit you? Means they have a purpose, they have a reason, and that reason you have to find out quickly by doing a reading to know what they want from you and how to stop them or give to them and let them stop worrying you. Yeah, so that's it for. May I read the question? Ras. Yeah, so Ras one, that is this in when Iyami or witches or Ajay visit you in your dream, it's not a good thing. But I don't know, maybe they can also bring good thing to you if you are doing things that they want you to do for them and you are doing. Yes, probably they can bring a good thing to you.
Okay. On Facebook now, the questions are loaded. We have people online. Luciana Obi, you says, pray for me, please. Papa, pray for me.
You say Luciana? Luciana, okay. Obi, oh, I see. How are you? Thank you very much for the article. It's very, very nice. How is Bridget? My regards to her. I know you are back home in Italy now. How are your parents, Antonio? Hope they are fine. You were. I think now you have finished your quarantine and you are at home. So by then, take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Hello.
I saw in one of your videos you stop the rain with the energy of Ablaku.
Yes. This one. This is the rain maker and this is the rain stopper. Yes, that is very true, Abayomi. That's very true. Then, no, this voodoo, as I said, everything is secret about it. It is only when you are initiated into it that you get to know the secrets. Why I say so is that the pronunciation of the names alone is where the power is. You know, words have power. And when that is all that initiation is about, when you will be given the secret word that you can use, and this secret word we call it joker. They give you the joker. The Togo people will say zoka. It is in initiation that you'll be given the word that you can the incantations that you will use to make changes in nature. This the same incantations is what is called in Hinduism and Buddhism mantra. So if they are talking about mantra just means words of power, and it is in every culture. And in voodoo, when you are initiated into a particular voodoo, then they give you the mantra of that voodoo. That is all that initiation is about. You must be given the mantra or the word of power, which you can use to pave your way in life, to pave your way on your spiritual path. It is the same words that when you pronounce them, the voodoo that you have been initiated into will immediately hear your call and know that you are calling him or her. When you are initiated, then your prayer hearer, the person who hears your prayer, becomes closer to you. So anytime you pray, by incantations or calling the name of that particular voodoo, he or she is there to hear you and answer. But then if you are not initiated into it and you are calling it, it does not know you. It's just like you are walking on the street and somebody didn't know you and is calling you some name that is not your name. How will you respond? You will not, even if you turn around to look, you will not know who is calling you because you don't know the person in the first place, and the name that is calling you is not your full name. There can be many Francis in the world, but then if you say Francis Ajimai, Kodia, then somebody knows that this is his name. But if you don't have that name and you just go and call it Francis, everybody will be telling. But who are you calling? So that is how it is on the spiritual field. In the spiritual world, when you are being initiated, you must be given the mantra or the holy word or word of power, the incantations of the voodoo or the spirit or the tro or the bobo, which you are initiated into, so that when you mention the name of that spirit, the spirit has to, the presence of that spirit has to, wherever it is in the spirit world, at least it has to show you a sign that I have heard you. So this is how it is. So if you are not initiated, you can. This voodoo is very good, and it has so many things inside. It's so many things inside, and you can never learn all. You can only learn 1 or 2 or 3 that you need to use. You will be given all, but you only learn 1 or 2 or 3 to which you can use very regularly. So when I went to the village, there was what do you call it? The occasion that you saw me using it, and it was very successful, was at the shrine of Togbe Tuji, at Togbe Tuji's shrine, which is my old man's shrine. That shrine is over 200-300 years old. And I had a client from NASA. Listen to me very carefully. I had a client from NASA, the US NASA, National Aeronautical Space Agency, or whatever they call it, who came to be initiated. And I took him after part of the initiation. I think, is it? Oh, I think it was before the initiation or after the initiation. So I took him, he wanted to go to the village to see the shrine. So we went there. On our way, he went to Togo, and from Togo, I went and picked him up. And when we were coming, it has rained the day before. And not knowing we were in the rainy season, but that was the only day because his schedule was so tight, there couldn't be another day. So we got there to the village, and we wanted to do the rituals, and all of a sudden the rains began to fall. So under that circumstances, I have to beg the heavens and nature to give me a space so that I can finish the ceremony or the ritual that we have gone to the village for before the rain comes. So it is not like a show business whereby you want to show people that you can do or stop rain or anything like that. It is just when the need be that you need that. That is when you beg the gods and nature to give you this thing. Voodoo is not for show business. That's why when people put that zangbeto every day, every time they put them, say they are dancing. Last time it was exposed that it was always human being that was inside, and they were be deceiving us that the voodoo is walking on its own. But the truth about this is that when you are in such a die-hard situation, when you ask nature, nature will respond, because you are not using it for show. You are only trying to tell nature that you respect it, and nature will respect you back. So that's why when you see me doing this thing, it's only because it has been recorded. That's why you could see it. Otherwise, you won't know. There are so many things that happen without recording, but then at that occasion it was recorded because we went for a special ritual, and we had a very special client, and we were trying to do our best to finish their work before they go back. That's why I did that.
Tameka Ali.
Tameka.
How do I contact you for your spiritual work?
Tameka, our informations are all on the Revolution platform. Our informations are on African Magic Temple. So if you type African Magic Temple into into your browser, you definitely come to us. And if you ask a question, we have an auto messenger which will automatically reply you with our contact number and necessary things that you need. So you go onto African Magic Temple or Revolution and you will find all our information, how to contact us.
Anthony Lincoln says, greetings, Bokor Chris.
Anthony what?
Lincoln.
Lincoln. Hello, Anthony, how are you? Thank you very much for joining us. We are very grateful to you.
Says, we hope you and your beautiful family are well.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much, Anthony. And how are you too? Hope you are also fine.
Antonio says, hello all.
Hello, Antonio. How is Italy, Rome? You know, Rome has been under the sledgehammer of COVID-19, but we hope that everything is getting better now.
And Fisher says, we are all essential workers, so we are ready for the rest.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kadi. Thank you. Thank you.
Deborah, fine.
Eh?
Deborah, fine.
Yes. Hello, Deborah. Deborah.
He wants to know how our gods are doing on this coronavirus.
Oh, our gods are keeping us alive. That's what matters most. I don't talk about other people's problem. I talk about my problem. One thing with a lot of people is that they are interested in what is happening somewhere else. Yes, it is also good that we should be interested. But as at the moment, I am praying and taking care of people who are connected to me. I mentioned it the other day that I am not Jesus Christ, and I am not coming here to save the world. I save my own. After all, it is not the whole world who believe in what I am doing. And it is not the whole world who will want me to use my knowledge and wisdom to save them. So I am saving and working on behalf of the people who think that my knowledge can save their life.
If Father says, spell the name of the main spirit.
Which spirit?
The main spirit.
The name? Main.
Spirit.
The main spirit in my shrine are Akai and Jokpata. And this is Avla Bo, which is the Kotoku or Akpo here. And we have Jokpata as the patron spirit of the shrine. If I can understand the question very well, because Seiram is reading, but I'm not sure. But see, the main spirit of our shrine. Okay, if Adara, please, if there's a main spirit of our shrine is Akain, Abraxas, and Jokpata. These are the three main, the patron spirits of the shrine. And then we have other spirits, Togbe Damalie, I mean, so many other things. Fa and all these things are here. Question. Okay, I can't see it well, but if that answer doesn't satisfy, please send me the question more in a clearer form so that we can be able to answer it, big sister.
Kofi Damso says, I would definitely love to be interested in being initiated into Mother Earth. according to the Ewe tradition? Can it be done from abroad, or does the individual need to be in Ghana?
Kofi, real initiations are not done online. Like the Mother F initiation, you have to eat with the F together. There's a process, and they say you have eaten with the Mother F. And when you eat, then the Mother F knows that you have now shared the same cup and or the same bowl, and then you are now friends. So it cannot be done online. It's a physical thing. So anytime you come next time, I am always around.
Antonio says, so when we say nature, we say Ayimba Majoflo.
Ayimba Majoflo. When we say F, yeah, Ayimba Majoflo. It's not necessarily nature as a whole, but the F, Ayimba Majoflo. The F. Yes.
Nora Domi joined.
Hello, Nora. How are you?
Kadi Fisher says,
Thank you for joining.
Kadi Fisher says, I would like to thank God. My ancestors encouraged me at time. I did my New Year's divination, and I have to a kind package.
Yes.
I know people around me that are extremely financially affected by this pandemic, but I am not affected.
We thank God, we thank the ancestors, we thank Akai and everything, because I remember that your reading said something about this, your New Year reading said something about your finances, and I'm happy that at least things are working well in your favor, because you did all the rituals that you were asked to do. We thank God for that. This is what I want to hear.
He says we have more Akai packages left.
Yes, true. Yes. We have more Akai packages left, and then those who are still interested in Akai package, they should let us know, and it can be sent to you. We thank God. We thank Akai. We thank all the gods and the spirits that are with us.
Ashilia Jebes G says, I had a dream, Papa, where I was in a river. And this young lady wanted to give me a chant to help me connect me more to the spirit. But this energy came and disturbed. I want to know what this means.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to tell, because you see, like a session like this, when I don't know what energy that was in the first place, and then I don't know the mood in which you were before going to bed. You know, there are certain dreams when you eat too much food. Before going to bed, you had certain kind of dreams. And then also, if you are watching or reading some books and you go to bed, you continue reading the book in your dream without really holding the book, but it will occur in your mind. So I wouldn't be able to tell exactly which mood you were in or what you were doing before going to bed, before having all these dreams, which type of movies you were watching before going to Nakuchino. What type of movies you were watching before you went to bed. So these things will all come together before I'll be able to tell you what probably had gone, what you had seen in your dream. But just by asking me directly like this, I won't be able to know, because there will be so many factors that needs to be clear to allow me to know what is the dream about.
Kadi Fisher says, how can one get initiated to the mirror?
To the mirror?
Yes.
Kadi, it's a very big question. Getting initiated into the mirror. Yes, we can get initiated into the mirror, but the mirror yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. There are some other spiritualists who have been trying to get in touch with me in Ghana here. They are Ghanaian. They are also having their own shrines, but they wanted to get in touch with me, and luckily I was able. One guy was able to get through, and then he wanted to know about spirits that talk. And I explained to him that there is no spirit that talks like human being. Wherever people tell you that spirits are talking like a human being, then you know there is deceit. But then a lot of people won't understand, and a lot of people won't know because they don't know. And because there's a lot of charlatans, thieves, liars, using this traditional spirituality to take advantage of innocent people who are really looking for the truth. So after our talking, and then he asked me, what do I use in my shrine for? Am I using only Fa? I said, no. I personally, I was initiated into Fa. My children are all initiated into Fa. But I don't use Fa as my main divination tool. Even though now, most of the time we are using Fa in the shrine, because I want to train my little boys so that in case they are on their own one day, they should be able to have a form of a divination tool. I was born with a sixth sense. So, but they were not, even if they are born with a sixth sense, it has not yet developed. So, for me to be able to hand them something that they can use in the future, I am concentrating on Fa. But I personally uses the mirror. Even sometimes I don't need to look into the mirror to be able to tell you about what is happening. My just thinking and calling the mirror, wherever I am, it's be able to communicate with me. So we were talking about these things, and then he asked me, so who made the mirror for me? And so it was made for me by the old man himself. And the time he made it for me, he was over 100 plus years. And I was the last person that he made the mirror for before leaving his physical body. And he made sure I was already seeing very well before he passed on. So I have never done the mirror for anybody yet. And even my little children, all my children wish that I could make the mirror for them so that they can also have the mirror. Yes, one day I will do it for them. But so far, for all this time, I have never made the mirror for anybody. And honestly, I have never initiated anybody into the mirror yet. But then, it is not impossible. We will have to find out if the process of the mirror is not a 1 or 2 days thing, it's not 1 week, it's not 1 month. It's a very long process. So I don't know how many people have that much time and also have the patience and the discipline to be able to go through it. That's why I don't even bring the topic of initiating people into the mirror. But that doesn't mean it is impossible. So Kadi, I've heard you. When we meet, we will talk. Questions to come.
Tofa Raymond says thank you.
Tofa, welcome. How are you?
Tofa Dara says praises.
Thank you, big sister Ifadara. Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Says that's correct news. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you very much, my big sister too. Ifa, Yani Ifa. Thank you for your comments. Any question? You are on Facebook now?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Deborah.
Yes.
Fee says, how can an old soul know his past?
When you are initiated, you will know. When you are initiated, Deborah, when you are initiated, you will know. You can't just sit down and know anything. It is through learning and guidance that you come across your past. Yes, there are some few people who are lucky, or I will not even call it lucky, who came back into this world and knew who they were, and they knew what they wanted to do in this world. They know their mission from childhood. already. Such people know, but then they also still need guidance. And then after the guidance, and once they give them the ABC, they can now continue up to Z. But they no matter what you are, even if you are an old soul, you are born with spiritual power, you are born with psychic power, you are born with all the knowledge of your past life, you still need a guidance. You need to be initiated by somebody. Like me, I was initiated in India. I was initiated into Tantra yoga, I am a Tantric yogi, and I have gone through all the Tantric lessons up to the 6th level. So the only lesson I didn't get was the 7th lesson, and that one was also because I found somewhere along the way that there was a human element in the spiritual teaching. That's why I left the order and I am on my own. I don't belong to any organization, and I don't form any organization for people to belong to. I am only here to teach you what you want to learn. And if I teach you, you are not under any obligation to be continuously associated with me under any force. If you associate with me, I will continue teaching you forever. But it is not a force.
Says, how do one atone for an abortion?
Kadi, in every culture, ladies and gentlemen, all my friends, fans of revolution over there, people who are on the revolution platform and on the WhatsApp groups and everything, I want to let you all know that at African Magic Temple, which we shorten as AMT, we teach what we know. We teach what was taught to us. We are not claiming to be the only source of wisdom or knowledge of every voodoo. We are only teaching what our father, grandfather, and master taught us. So anybody out there who thinks that they know something or whatever we are teaching is not in line with what he or she was taught, the person is free to start his own or her own teaching to other people. But we here are only teaching what we had been taught. A lot of people make different comments and all that, but then it is up to them. They should also open their place. They shouldn't come into my page and start to make negative comments as if they know more than what I am teaching. Knowledge is not limited. They may know more than me, but I am only teaching what I was taught. Question in the back. Question, okay?
How does one atone for abortion?
Yeah. So Kadi was asking a question: how does one atone for abortion? In the Ewe culture that my old man taught me, there are rituals that we do when a person had had an abortion and terminated an abortion, and it come to the realization that because of that termination of abortion, certain things were not going on well in the person's life. There are rituals that we do. And also, when we are going to remove a sevon or a sevoi, which is the negative esse, when we are going to remove that also, it's one of the questions during that section, whether you have had an abortion before or not. And at that point, we will tell you the things that we will do after your sevon is done for you to be free from that problem too. So there are methods and rituals that is done for the atonement of such things. Whether you are a man or you are a woman, you need to do such things to get yourself free from that negative energy that can destroy and stop your progress in many, many things. Hello, Jude.
Says, what's the difference between Trokosi and Fiasidi, and are they the same?
Yeah, almost the same. Tronkoshi and Fiashidi are almost the same. Why? Because a Tronkoshi is another name for the Fiashidi or Tronkoshi. They are the same. They are all servants in the shrine of a vodu. See, like when we are binding Jidwe Jikro, we say that the Fiashidi Siolia, Miaklo Ai. So that is the same like a Tronkoshi. So in another voodoo, we use the Fiashidi, the word Fiashidi. But the Fiashidi is more of it's all both, because Koshi, which also means servant, and a Trokoshi, servant of the gods. A Fiashidi is the same. They are all the same. What the garlic came up here? Lemon, Benoni.
Koshi Green.
Yeah, Benoni, how are you?
Says, how can one communicate with the dead?
I don't know. How can you communicate with the dead? Are you initiated? You know, people, you ask questions, and they are very interesting questions sometimes to me. You are not initiated. You are not on any spiritual path. And you ask, how can I communicate with the dead? If you want to communicate with anything that is not physical, anything that is spiritual, you need to learn the spiritual way. You need to get initiation. You need to be guided how to do it. But you can't just communicate with the dead as if what the thief pastors are doing, holding telephone in their ear that they are talking to God. And the stupid fools who sit down in front of those pastors also believe that their pastor is communicating with God on phone. You know how stupid our people are. So when you want to communicate with the spirit world or the unphysical world, you need to learn how to be unphysical. I was explaining something the other day. The world or nature is visible and invisible. Visible nature and invisible nature is what form this world or this universe. Most of the time, we on this physical plane think that the whole world is only physical or visible. But we have forgotten that there are so many things that we can't see, hear, smell, are also with us and affect us. Take, for instance, this coronavirus. Of course, it's in the physical world, but it's very difficult for you to see it visibly unless you use certain equipments, microscopes. You won't be able to see it. But that doesn't mean it is not existing. That's why we are all putting these things on our nose now, so that we cover ourselves, so that if we are passing and it is there, it cannot enter our noses or our mouths or eyes to bring us problem. So there is a visible world and then there is the invisible world. So when you want to enter into those worlds that are not visible to you, you need to be guided and taught how to. That's the answer I can give you. Benoni.
Richard Kwame. He says, thanks for the explanation.
Thank you, Richie. How are you?
He said he wanted to know if a lady conceives and hides it from from you, and you later aborted it without telling mommy.
Without telling you. Kwame, yes, Richie, I understand your question very clear. Yeah, if a woman conceived a child for you and she did not tell you that she is pregnant, and she goes behind you and aborted the child, you are not culpable or culpable in any way to bear the negative reaction or karma or sanskara at any cost, because you were not aware. You are free from that, and that child that has been aborted has nothing to do against you. Maybe the only thing that the child may come out is probably if you are doing a spiritual reading, the child will come and tell you that, oh no, I was supposed to come into your life, but then your woman did this to me, so I am gone, but pray that I should come back into your life. That's all. You are not culpable in any way.
Daniel, Amy says, I wish this is done in our own language. Our enemies are listening.
Who is your enemy, Daniel? There's nobody who is your enemy. And unfortunately for you and for me, we don't have anything called our own language. If we as Eves, as having a country, as an Ewe country, where Ewe is spoken as the only language, then you can say you have a language.
It says, it's the language we are using, meaning that's the reason why blacks, we are not moving forward.
It's never true. I will not agree with that. So when you don't have a language to use, there are some blacks people in Ethiopia, they use their Ethiopian language. Are they moving faster than you? You see, when we are learning and teaching, we want all of you to have an open mind towards the world. Without interacting and learning from other cultures, you can never see the beauty of your own culture. So we don't cut ourselves off from other people by saying that they are enemies. So we don't want them to learn our ways, and we don't want to learn their ways. I am a very typical example. I have traveled the world over, and whatever I have gathered as knowledge and wisdom from the world, when I sit down at my shrine or sit down here, I use all that with the help of all the energies that I am working with, which are not from one single source. That's what I'm using in teaching. Had it been that I said no, because I am an AV, I don't want to learn English language, I don't want to do anything because it's an enemy in the language of the enemies, I am sure I wouldn't have known what I have known today. And I trust you, trust me. There are so many of our traditional priests who cannot speak English, who cannot do, and they teach very negative things only. They try to only put you in a very small corner, and you see them and you think that they are gods, because they begin to become gods on you. Instead of you approaching the real God, those people become your gods because they control your psyche. That it is not true that because of the language we are using, that's why we are losing. No, our own people refuse to learn, and the refusal to learn is what is bringing us backwards. And the black man, as a people, likes to hate each other. They would rather support your opponent against you than supporting you. The black man wants things to come to them in very easy way. That's why we found most of our people in Christianity, which sells hope. That's why we find a lot of our people in Islam, which is selling hope. Hope is what? That when you die from this phase of life, don't worry about here. When you die from this phase of life, you are going to go to heaven and have 7 virgins to marry. You want virgins? There are plenty in the world. Why won't you go and get them married and then make a living? Why do you have to go to heaven to go and marry a virgin? They tell you that, oh, when you die, you go to a world, heaven, where the river is flowing with milk and honey. You don't need to buy honey again. You don't need to buy milk. You only take cup and fetch and drink. That is stupidity. If you want to drink milk, work. You go to market. There's so much milk sold in the supermarket. Even if you don't have a supermarket, people who have cow, they can milk for you. You pay them, they'll milk for you. You drink how many cups you want. But you know, our people want everything easy. So they fall prey to all this deceit. That way, don't worry about this world. You are going to go to heaven anyway. And when you go there, your goods and your wealth is stored there for you. But the person who is telling you this story is trying to make his wealth here. Is it not craziness? So don't use that kind of thing that the language is your enemies and all this. Your enemies are listening. There's no enemy listening. Let's go.
Thank you. Yeah, says about the coronavirus. In my living area where we have most infection rate, we are 2 more weeks under lockdown.
Oh, wow. We too, we have another 1 week or maybe 2 more weeks, 3 weeks under lockdown, but we are here. I mean, we are getting used to it. We don't even need to go anywhere. We are just using the time to look at ourselves and think about ourselves. So, do your best. Japanese say "gambatte," means do your best.
It's also said we are enjoying it really very much.
Yeah.
It is a great gift.
It's an opportunity given us
Physical and spiritual.
Yes. It's an opportunity given us. We can relax and then think about what is really that matters. It is. If you really look at what really matters in your life, that makes you happy, there are not really too many. Maybe the food you like to eat, and if you are a person who drinks alcohol, and then probably the man you love or the woman you love to be close to you, and your children. That's all. We don't need so much to be happy. We just need very little to be happy. But if we don't relax, we are just running after. At the end of the day, your stomach, how much food can you eat? If they cook a whole big turkey for you, they cook a big turkey, tolo, for you to eat, how much can you eat? Or even a full chicken. How many people can eat a full chicken? Only few. And if you eat one finish, you can't eat the other one. Your stomach is full. So why are we running to? Where are we running to? What do we really want? All that we wanted is happiness. And you know, happiness is the absolute truth. People call it God. People call it voodoo. People call it whatever it is. If you can find what will make you happy, even if you don't have, you are happy. There's a saying in Sanskrit. I forgot the real Sanskrit sutra. But the Sanskrit sutra goes, the English translation says, he who has everything and yet is not happy, and he who has nothing and is happy, to you who is rich and who is poor. The person who has everything but is not happy, and the person who has very less or nothing, less to nothing, is happy. Who is a rich person and who is a poor person? Think about it. Yes, go the question.
Ebenezer Bonsu.
Hello, Eben, how are you?
Do you believe in blood sacrifice?
Whether I believe in blood sacrifice? Ebenezer, we are doing voodoo. So you haven't really seen what we are doing. That's why you ask such a question. Yes, we sacrifice blood, but not human blood. When you say blood sacrifice, if you are talking about human being, that's a different thing. But yes, voodoo it involves blood sacrifices. We kill animals every now and then. So then what is voodoo if there's no blood sacrifice in it?
Also, for asking that question, Mara answered to me.
Already.
Yes, Ebenezer, if the voodoo asks for blood sacrifice, through the sacrifice of a goat or a chicken, for example, it's not like it's good or bad.
Oh, it is, Nora, upon your own. It's not even good or bad. That doesn't even come inside. Don't the Muslims kill animals? Don't the Jews kill animals? Don't the Hindus kill animals? So why should, if voodoo kill animal, it becomes a crime or becomes negative, it becomes satanic? Think again. Think again. Muslims are killing animals. They are marrying 3 to 4, 5 wives. Nobody is saying anything. The Jews are killing animals. They are even killing and using the chicken just like the black man does. All other Chinese are killing animals. But then that's fine because they are well-established religions with a strong political background. So it's fine. And because the black man's spirituality has not got a political weight behind it, so animal killing become negative or evil. Ben, Eben, think well. Okay? We will kill animal in voodoo. If you are a practitioner of voodoo and you don't kill animal, what are you going to feed the voodoo with? Oh, you know that people kill animal and they are selling in supermarket. People go and buy meat at the supermarket, chicken and all kind of meat at the supermarket. You think that it is a live thing? If they didn't kill the animals, would they be in the supermarket for people to eat? Think again. Go ahead with the questions.
Sarah said it's a sacrifice that you are doing in order for the voodoo to work for you or help you, accordingly to what I know, but Papa will answer better.
Nora said.
Yes. Okay. Someone is asking for a number. Abdullah.
Yes. Abdullah is.
Say you want your number.
Abdullah, our number is platform on Facebook, on African Magic Temple platform on Facebook, and also on YouTube. I think you'll find our everything there. Do you have any questions on the YouTube now? As far as our African traditional spirituality is concerned, because there have been so much misconceptions and there are so many charlatans. People think that they know more than other people. They're confusing people. If you know more, please just teach what you know and let people listen to you. And if your teaching changed the life of people, that's great. It is not a competition. The world is not a competition, but it is a challenge. How you can also challenge whatever confronts you. It's not a competition. Tamika.
Bizzle says, how do you remove sickness?
Which sickness? We have so many, Tamika, we have so many different kinds of sickness. But before we work on any sick person, we do a reading. And in the reading, they will tell us what kind of sacrifices we are supposed to do to keep that sickness on the psychic plane, to hold it there. And then if they also advise us to what herbs to be prescribed for the person to take, or whichever medicine to be able to prescribe, we tell, go to the doctor, let the doctor say, but then we will do the spiritual one, stop the sickness on the psychic plane from it descending down into your body. So it depends on what sickness it is, and then that is what we will do after a reading.
Ifa Seun says, what are you drinking?
Ifa Seun
says, what are you drinking, Baba?
Seun, I am taking COVID. It's some preparation that I prepared, and it is to boost my immune system. That's what I'm taking. Yes. Yes, I prepared it only for the house and the people who are close to us, so that we can be drinking it to boost our immune system from cold. We're just doing it so that we don't catch the common cold, which will develop into COVID-19. Yesterday night, I was no, it was in the afternoon, and I was feeling something in my throat, and I said, "Hey, is this COVID coming into my throat?" But then my nose were dry, and I was afraid, because now you don't even know. Even if you have a common normal cough, once you cough 1 or 2 times, you begin to be afraid. You don't know whether it is the COVID or not. And if you have a blocked nose in one side, and then you begin to be afraid, because it becomes so easy now that every moment you are afraid, because the COVID-19 virus that is moving is so invisible to the naked human eye. So we don't know where it is and who has it or who does not have it. So moment you start to feel any discomfort in your body, especially your throat, your nose, you begin to wonder whether it is the virus that has gotten you. So immediately I put the hot tea on the fire. I told my gate man to go and get me herbs, and then they pluck all the trees around my residence. They brought it, and I boil it. I put them in a bucket, and I make a local sauna for myself, and then I drank some hot green tea. And then also I made a blended lemon, lime, garlic, and ginger. I blended them into a paste. I fetch 1 spoon, put in a cup, and pour hot water on it. And then I drank it like a tea. And then I went to bed. I woke up this morning feeling very good. So the fear is there, but we must transcend and overcome fear, because we don't know. Because we can't see it. That's why our prayer to our vodu and to our ancestors and to God, who created everything that we don't see, the God that we don't see, but we know He created everything. Our prayers to them all is to help us to go through this period, because we cannot see the virus. Could be here, it could be there. We don't know who has it. So the best thing is wash your hands, as we were told. Cover your nose, and if you don't have a handkerchief or anything, when you are going to sneeze, try to sneeze into your elbow. So these are the things that I've been taught, because nobody knows where it is. So you just need to protect yourself. So this drink is for my protection. Yes, Shiv, that was my answer to you.
Shiv again says, what can someone use who have sinus, then the flu?
The sinus, I think that my first advice is to see a doctor, and then let the doctor prescribe you a medicine which is good for you. And then, of course, there are so many herbal medicines and other things also out there which needs to be thought about. But first and foremost is to see your doctor, because the world is controlled by the orthodox medicine. And then anything that you will advise will be taken against you, especially on Facebook. When you say anything that is not in line with what orthodox medicine is talking about, the take it. They don't take it lightly. So I will advise us see the doctor, and also we have the herbal doctors and everything. But first go to the hospital and then ask them what can you use for sinusitis or whatever sinus to help yourself. Surely they will give you some advice. Hello, Nee. How are you?
Yes, what if someone is already a god within the spiritual realm?
How can you be a god within the spiritual realm? Who told you so?
Will such persons need any initiation?
If you are a god already, then you know you don't need to ask that question. If you know that you are God already in the spiritual realm, why do you ask such a question? I've never heard anybody who is already a god yet. So if you know who is a god, then the person doesn't need initiation because he's already a god. So, but don't deceive yourself and deceive other people that you are already a god in the spiritual realm. What proof do you have that you are in deceit? Don't let people who deceive you when you go to do a reading, and because they cannot do any reading, they just tell you stories to make your head big. How can you be a god? Which god are you? There are certain things that you people should stop saying. Which kind of god are you? We are saying that you are your own gods. But then that means within you is the living God. And that living God is what you have to approach. And then you can think that you are God in the spiritual realm. Who told you there's God over there? This is what Christians and Muslims and religious people are telling people, that there's a God in heaven. Where is the heaven? Where is the heaven? The mullahs, the imams, the prophets, and all these things, they are trying to amass wealth on this earth. And they are telling you that you should go to heaven. Why are they living good life on this earth if heaven is such a great place? Why won't they just ask their God that they want to die and come to heaven quickly? With this COVID-19, even the Pope and everybody, they are hiding. They are the one talking about heaven. Why they don't want to go to heaven and enjoy? Sorry for me to ask these questions, but it is because of the question you posed. Yes.
Quito offbeat.
Quito offbeat. Mm-hmm.
Hello from Quito.
Hello, Quito. How are you?
Tachi Isaac says hi.
Hello, Tachi Isaac. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Abayomi Baroko says, thanks for the insightful response, Baba.
Thank you, my brother.
As you can see, I am quite curious.
I know. Abayomi, I know very well. That's why I answered it in a very clear way, so that you can understand what I am saying.
Tachi Isaac, he says, how can you help me to equal power, to acquire power?
I don't know, Tachi Isaac. I am not here helping people to acquire power. I am here helping people to have knowledge of self and how they can develop themselves. I am not giving power to people, and I am not teaching people how to acquire power. I'm teaching people how to develop themselves. People who think that power is easy, that I have it, and when you come and I give it to you, then you start using it. No, spiritual work is not like that. Spiritual work is discipline. A lot of discipline. And if you are not disciplined, I cannot introduce you into anything. And before I can even introduce you, I have to watch your behavior and know who you are. Because with power comes responsibility. And with great power comes a greater responsibility. So you don't just give power to people or teach people how to acquire power when you don't see that they are responsible people. Question over. Come, let the questions come, and go to YouTube. Come, because people on the YouTube will also be waiting for their questions to be answered.
Nana Jack Sparrow says, good education, boss.
Thank you, Major. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us.
Osei is watching from Kumasi.
Thank you, Osei. How are you doing? Thank you very much for joining us.
Ashia James G says, I didn't watch any movie or read any book, but thank you, Papa English.
Thank
You're
you
the
too.
one talking about a dream.
Yes, thank you too. That's why I give different scenarios. Either it's food, drink, reading books, movies, or it is pure dream. But then you have to get the background of everything. So if it is just pure dream, then what I will advise is to do a reading to find out what the spirit world is trying to tell you.
Guyos, Glaba. Says, Toby, can you educate us on the advantages and disadvantages of associating with dwarves?
Dwarfs?
Yes.
What's the name again?
Guyos, Glaba.
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 Grabba. Grava.
Glaba.
Glaba. Hello, Mr. Glaba. Yeah, associating with dwarfs. Where are the dwarfs in the first place before you will be able to associate with them? That's the question. There are a lot of people who build shrines and tell people that they are having dwarfs. I have gone through that. And I finally came out with the fact that they are all charlatans. So when you say associating with the dwarfs, where are the dwarfs? You may find them in your dream, then that's real. Or you may be walking in the forest and find them. But sometimes even some people have even gone, if they are trying to take your money, they can go and hide in the forest and say, oh, let's be walking, and then or they'll tell you to go and get something, and you go and find somebody hiding in the forest wearing certain things to tell you that it's a dwarf. There's so much charlatans in this spiritual path. Be very careful.
Says, you all have problems with my name. That's funny.
Oh, Iyanifa, I don't have a problem with your name at all. Iya, Ni, Ifa, mother of Fa. I'm not having.
It means like the one who are reading it.
Okay. But then me, I don't have a problem with the name at all.
Pronouncing her full name is a problem.
Yeah, Iyanifa Omotoshin.
There's one over there before the Omotoshin.
What again?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll read it later, so it's okay. I saw Yoruba words. It's okay with us. We question it. Well, go ahead with the questions if there are more questions, because I don't want anybody to say that. I don't want anybody to say that. Is it gone off? Are we off? It's freezing now. Is your side okay, Kofi? Do toy. Is he okay now? Are we connected now? Okay, Chojo le bota. You by using my phone. By using my phone. Eh? Because otherwise you have to start another section. Okay, I don't know whether you people can see us out there. We are still having some technical challenges with the network. But then if you can see us, please let us know. Because we don't know. The boys are working on it, but we don't know whether you can see us because the network is freezing. If you are seeing us, please give us the emojis of a like or love or whatever you can see, so that we can know that you are seeing us.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, great. Then I'm
See you
happy.
here.
Okay, thank you. We are having some challenges, so we are kind of worried that maybe we are not transmitting. Okay, so now we go ahead. So questions, any questions there? Let's see.
From I have to go back.
Decline. There you are. Cut me. Where do you do your hand? And then that is it's on my phone. Okay, because of the.
Sorry for delaying you people, but we're having some little problems, so we'll get okay. Ebenezer Bonsu. He says, is it true that one with certain protection can disappear from a danger, like if a bad person wants to shoot or stab him? And does that work?
Eben, you have heard so many stories. Voodoo is real. You can only get to that level when you start practicing, when you get initiated into certain things. That's why I said earlier that voodoo is real. I'm not here trying to entice you with power to tell you that, oh, when you come, you can disappear from nature, and when this and that, or when you come, when you do like this, the spirits will come down and start talking to you. But if you have the discipline and have the patience to go through spiritual lessons, you'll get there one day.
Fashion says lately I've been having a lot of dream about the Orisha.
Yeah.
And I wrote it.
Ifasheun, who is it? Who is it? Who is saying that?
Ifasheun.
Sheun.
Yes. Yes. I've been having a lot of dream about the Orisha.
Yes.
I wrote it down, but I don't work.
It doesn't work.
But I don't what they want.
Shehu, the point is, Shehu, what you have to do is when you are having the dreams of the Orisha and you don't know what they want, your writing the dreams down does not change anything. I will advise you to find a priest closer to wherever you are, so that they can do a reading for you to find out what the Orishas are trying to tell you. And if the priest is a good priest and tells you what the Orishas are saying, and you follow the direction of the oracle that falls down, you will get through this and get better results. Whatever they are telling you will come out into the physical plane. Go ahead.
Fashion says thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Oh, thank you very much for you joining us to ask your question.
Hilary says regards from Dublin.
Hello, Hilary. How are you, Hilary? You are staying in Dublin. Be careful. We are hearing that your prime minister is, Dublin is Ireland. Okay, then it's not your prime minister. It's British Prime Minister Johnson that is in having challenges. Now he's out of the difficult place. But now people start worrying him that he delayed a lot of things. I heard on the BBC today that he avoided attending 5 solid meetings on COVID-19. I wonder what he is going to say when he gets back from the hospital, when the COVID-19 caught he himself. Because when they called him for meeting, he didn't find it necessary to go. Now the thing catch up. Thank you, Ilario, for joining us. How have you been? It's been a while. Hope you are doing well with all that you have learned from African Magic Temple. Thank you very much for coming to teach us all that you have, all the knowledge for the children and all of us. We are managing it. We are very grateful.
We as Glabber says, can any spirit influence or cause one to smoke marijuana?
Spirits don't cause people to smoke marijuana or influence people to smoke marijuana. One thing you must know that you have your own human desire. Spirits do not create desire in you. It's only hypocrites who do things and later say it is Satan who forced them to do. In other words, Satan is a spirit and is the one who came inside me and made me to do it. There is no Satan anywhere. You are the Satan yourself. There is desire, human desire. And if you yourself, you cannot control, if you yourself as a human being, you cannot control your own human desires, and you created or do something that is against your own physical body or whatsoever, don't say spirits have influenced you. When you are on a proper spiritual path, spirits will only influence you for the benefit of humanity, for the benefit of yourself. They will not influence you to smoke any ganja. Unless, of course, if you are with a spirit and it is your habit to smoke ganja or drugs, not even drugs, only ganja. Because other drugs, you can't give a spirit a drug. That's why people who are having dwarfs and the dwarfs are asking for cocaine, that's a lie. They are thieves. Those people are thieves, they are charlatans, they are liars. No dwarf will ask you for cocaine. I have been to shrines where dwarfs were asking for cocaine. They are not dwarfs, they are human beings hiding behind curtains. I am telling you the truth. I've gone through almost all, not everything, but almost all. And I have met liars and liars and liars along the way. So be careful. Spirits don't force you to smoke drug for them.
He's also asking if any spirit can get you mad from smoking marijuana.
Whether spirits can get mad.
Yeah, like make you mad.
It is not the spirit who is going to get you mad, it's your brain that is going to get you mad. Why should the spirit get you mad? It's your brain who will get you mad. Because don't you know that when something is not good for you, you shouldn't do it? Who said the spirit will get you mad? Why should the spirit get you mad? Is the spirit the one smoking? Or you are the one smoking? When you know that something, alcohol is not good for you, don't drink alcohol. And if you know ganja, people call it bekwi, is not good for you, don't smoke it. There are some people when they smoke ganja, that is when they think well. There are some people when they smoke ganja, that is when they do or they become their best. That is that people. If it is not good for you, don't blame any spirit anywhere that the spirit is the one who say I should smoke it. No spirit asks you to smoke it. It's you who is smoking it because you are the one enjoying it. Spirit is only a secondary personality. Whether you give him ganja or you don't give him ganja, the spirit is there. If ganja will make you crazy, why should the spirit want you to smoke it if he knows that when you smoke it, you'll get crazy? I am here, I've been working with spirit for many ages. I don't smoke ganja for my spirits. I may put the ganja herbs into the herbs that I use in making the spirit. but I don't smoke for them. Yes, once in a while, I use tobacco, cigarettes, and all these things. I smoke it because that's what I can handle. Because I cannot handle ganja and my spirits know that, they cannot expect me to smoke ganja for them. But if your spirits think that you can handle ganja and ask you to smoke for them, that's your problem. But if you smoke it and you get crazy, don't blame the spirits.
Senator Voncujovi says, hello, greetings from Tokyo.
Hello, yeah, how are you? Thank you for joining. I think your mother has just arrived in Japan. I think she's calling me, but I am still doing this. And so inform her that of course I sent a message, but inform her that I am in a Facebook live session, and when I am done, I will try to call her. And if she has arrived safely, I thank God and the spirits and the ancestors for allowing her to be able to fly in this time that there is no flying, and she has arrived safely. So I'll talk to her later.
Jennifer Odin says, hello from New York.
Hello, Jennifer, how are you?
Julius Gaba says, Tony, I bought a land from a man who I was told has witchcraft.
You bought a land from a man who has witchcraft?
He was told that the man has witchcraft.
So when you were going to buy the land, why you didn't find out whether he has witchcraft or he don't have witchcraft?
He wants to know how he can get his money back.
A man doesn't have any witchcraft. He's a scammer. He scam you. It's not witchcraft. If he had witchcraft, what is it? Are you afraid of witchcraft? Go and face him. Cannot kill you. The man has a witchcraft. You can call me privately later. We'll do a reading for you to see what you can do to get your money back. Yeah, but whether the man have no, don't listen to people. A man has witchcraft. Where you get the witchcraft from? You people, we are in African Magic Temple. We are teaching. This is called African Magic Temple, a school of wisdom and enlightenment. School of wisdom and enlightenment. All those hearsay stories don't work here. Here we are very practical, logical, and reasonable. And our work speaks for itself. So you can call me later or send me a WhatsApp message. Maybe you need to do a reading and find out what to do to collect your money from that charlatan or thief. That one they are saying he is a witch or he has witchcraft is going to scare you so that you don't go for your money. Benoni. Benoni. Italian name is
Benoni says, wow, my first time listening and watching you.
Thank you, Benoni.
But I am so much pleased with your level of understanding into spiritual matters.
Thank you, Benoni. When you learn, you know. If you don't learn, you only be talking stories. We will know what we are talking about here. Yes.
Please, do you write books?
No. I don't write books. There's no books. I'm not interested in writing books. I have a lot of things stored down. My children will one day put them together. And whatever I tell here and say here is what is in my book. I'm not writing books because honestly speaking with you, I'm not the person. It's not because I'm not educated or whatever, but I'm not the person who is thinking of writing books. I have records of all the things that I'm learning or I have learned in my life, and I'm going to put them into digital form, or I am putting them in a digital form. If somebody wants to compile them into a book, that's up to them. But I'm just recording and documenting everything that I have gone through and going through. So I don't have books, but the things that I teach are all over there online. You can learn. It's more than reading a book. Because I'm still alive. You see me physically. You ask me a question and I answer you.
Ebenezer Bonsu says, first time watching you say.
Hello. Yeah, Eben, I'm very happy that you are understanding where I am coming from.
Brian Junior, although he says, first time, but I'm impressed with the knowledge of wisdom in you have. I wish to learn from you.
Thank you, Aikwe. We are grateful for you joining us.
Thank you,
Yeah, Jude.
Thanks, Papa. I would also want to add that since you set my essay, I have experienced an increase in my sixth sense, career dreams. I have also gained more independence in my spirituality, allowing me to assess my progress and react to situations.
Okay, let me understand. Jude Tenge Jokoto, you say that since I set up his essay for him, he has seen a lot of progress in his life, his spirituality, in his sixth sense, a way to understand spirituality and other things. That's what. Jude, thank you very much. I'm very happy. You know, there is the gentleman commenting about essay being male, female, and all kind of things. You know, I'm not here competing with anybody, and I am not here to teach what I don't know. He made a comment that we are only saying that our father, or my children are saying that their grandfather was over 100 and they shouldn't use that. Yes, he set up his own teaching field. He should teach the people who wants to learn from him. Knowledge is not limited to only one person. I am not the only one who knows about essay. This thing had been there thousands of years before I was even born. So how can I claim to be the one who knows it all? But the truth is that I am teaching what I was taught. And my children, Senna and Pele of Revolution, are just teaching what their grandfather and their father had taught them. It is not for anybody to be competing and fighting who has the knowledge more or not. If you have the knowledge, share it. Let people learn. And when people learn it and they are able to benefit from what you are teaching them, they will say, oh, this was a good teacher. I am not Amegashi. There is no Amegashi in Vedome. We don't have Amegashi in Vedome. We have Tronsi. That's the biggest you will have. We don't even have Bokor in Vedome. We will say that Jokato, a Joto. That's what we have in Ewe, in the central Ewe, which we call Evedome. So we don't have any Amegashi setting up except for anybody in our area. So that Amegashi matter doesn't happen to us. And most of the Amegashi I have met, they are all tricksters. I'm sorry to say so. So thank you very much, Tenge Jokoto.
Richard Kwame says, can I have a personal forecast about my destiny? If yes, what are the results?
Of course, you can do a reading to find out about your life. So we have all our contacts there. Contact us on the WhatsApp, and then we will give you the direction how to. Our reading for people outside Ghana is $150, and people who are in Ghana, we take 400 Ghana cedis plus 2 bottles of beef eater dry gin.
Labi Cosmos Ebenezer Bonsu.
Hello, is replying to Ebenezer. Togwe, Doc, thank you for joining.
It says, I just hope Togwe's explanation about sacrifice will help you understand when you ask me the same questions in my inbox, but I figured out that my explanation did not sync well with you.
Okay, so the Dr. Labi was trying to tell him, but he didn't really. Doc, thank you very much for joining. I'm very happy, I'm grateful. Akpekaka, Novinye. We are getting to 4 p.m. So let us wrap up quickly. I check the questions. We are already 4 p.m. Let's check the questions on YouTube. If there's no more question there, then we come to Facebook and then we close down. We have another day tomorrow.
The questions are really plenty.
You say?
The comments over there, we have 90 comments.
On
Facebook. We have more when the more we are answering, the more they are sending. So
okay, no problem. That's why we are all having the section. So we are having almost about 90 questions and comments that are coming up in this live session. I think a lot of people are staying home and we are getting used to staying home, and now we have nothing to do. So I come on to talk with you, and I'm very happy that you are all with me. I will not be able to answer all your questions in this section because we are almost after 4 p.m. and there are some people also waiting for us. Some people want us to do reading for them. They are not physically present, but we will have to do reading for them. So we will answer 5 more questions from Facebook, and then we go on to YouTube. If there's any question there, we answer it, then we will close the section. I pray and hope, but then the conversation should continue. Share all this thing to your loved ones and people on your platform so that I will continue answering the questions while I am not live, but I will answer them for you.
Okay, for our first.
And you know, this is Ghana made, so people buy our own. Yeah, go ahead.
Kofi Dansu.
Yes, my brother.
I can listen to you all day. Said, thanks again for sharing your wisdom. Hoping to visit after the lockdown.
Okay, thank you, Kofi Dansu. Yes, we'll be expecting you. Thank you very much.
From Carl Mensa, he says, Papa, how do I open my third eye?
Carl, you can only open your third eye when you find a teacher who will teach you how to.
Guyos Glaba says, any education about witchcraft, any protective measures against witchcraft?
Yeah, I told you to do a reading. When you do a reading, whatever they will guide you, the spirits will guide you.
Prince Abdulaziz Yakub.
Hello,
says,
Abdul.
Says, how long do I need to practice before I start using my third eye?
I cannot tell because I don't know your spiritual level. So if I tell you you practice this long or that long, I will be deceiving you because I don't know which level you are in spirituality. There are certain people who have already gone through some spiritual discipline, and it is easy for you to train them, and it becomes easy. And also, even though people might have gone through a spiritual discipline, their own very nature does not give them the spirit world to bestow blessings on them. Their very own nature doesn't give them doesn't give the spiritual world to bestow blessings on them. All those things will have to be taken into account or into consideration before knowing how long a person can develop on spiritual path. Jesus Christ, which I from time to time quote, says that God does not live in temples made with hands. Ye are the temples of God, so keep your hearts clean. If you go into Acts chapter 52 or something, it's there. You can read. So, your heart is the temple of God. If your heart is clean, when you call on God, He will wake up and listen to you and answer you. So when you ask me how long can I learn, I don't know your heart. I don't know how clean you are in your heart. I don't know how love covers your heart. And I don't know how much the hatred has covered your heart. So if I am here not knowing you and telling you that will come within 1 week, you will be listening. No, spirituality is not a one-day job. It's a life forever. That's why I say voodoo is a way of life. It is not limited. It's a way of life. So if you want to learn, do a reading and then get initiated, and then you start on your journey. And when the gods think that you are qualified to work with them, they will select you.
Andy G. Fisher says it's raining today and we are wanting to feed our ancestors.
You can still, Angie.
Will today be a good day?
Sure, it doesn't matter. You can feed the ancestors any day. If you want to feed them, feed them. The rain or no rain, you can feed the ancestors, and then spiritually also is a good day, I think.
He said we are not to add pepper. Is that correct?
Yes, it depends. There are two types of feeding ancestors, and this is where a lot of people make mistake. In the voodoo way of the Evedome people, or the Eves of the central area of Eves, we add pepper, salt, everything, just like what we eat. We eat finish, and then we give the ancestors. In the Anglo-southern part of Ewe, where Afa is very predominant, because Afa does not eat pepper, the voodoo called Afa does not eat pepper. When they are doing certain things, they don't add pepper to it. So they will say, when you cook, don't add pepper to it. But what I was taught from my old man, we always add pepper, just because we have to eat first. Feed them. So whichever way you, I know both ways. So sometimes when I am working with a far priest, we don't give pepper. But when I am working alone, I give pepper, just like how my old man had taught me. So you can choose. I think what you have known from me so far is the one without pepper. That was the Afa way. So please cook the food without pepper, and then you separate it. The one that you give to the ancestors, remove it first, and then the one that you yourself will eat, you can add pepper to it. That's also another way. So Angie, so that's it. When you people come here, I'm going to teach you people a lot before you go. And I'm going to come to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I'll set up a shrine over there. And you ladies will be in charge.
Okay.
And that shrine will be very, very important shrine in America, I tell you. Yes. And I will set up another shrine in Ohio at Shamba's place for Shamba Musa, so that he can have his own shrine, because he is a master born already. Yes, go ahead.
That's our last question.
Hello, Nana. Yeah, we've been chatting the whole of today already. How are you? Thank you for joining me. How is everything going? Thank you for the lessons you shared with me.
Greetings from Maryland.
Thank you, Nana.
Thank you for your contribution to this, to indigenous culture and history.
Thank you too,
I
Nana.
wish you well and pray for you and your family always.
Thank you, Nana. I'm very grateful. You know, hold on. Nana, okay, go ahead with the question, because it's not talking directly.
Chair, my question is about verses of Afa where do the songs of Afa come from? Are they the same for every lineage in every Ewe town?
No, the Afa songs came from Afa culture, and each particular Odu or Afadu, as the Eves call it, the Yorubas call it Odu, and we, the Eves, we call Afadu. Each Afadu has its own stories, songs, the herbs to do, the rituals to do. So each one comes, as you learn the Afa, all this knowledge will be impacted on you. And then there are some people who were brought up from a very early age because their parents were Bokors or Afa Bokors, and they had the whole society is Afa. So these people know these things off head even without even learning it, because it's, if they want to sing the song of Ablaoli, there's a song to sing Ablameji, the song to sing Guda Fluongbe. Every Afa Odu has its song, the herbs that should be used, the animals that should be used in sacrifice, the rituals that should be done, and everything is there. So it is when you are learning it in Ewe, you are learning Fa, then these things become your information. But it is not, it does not cut across Ewe land, because the area of Ewe land that I come from does not have anything to do with Afa. We do with a throne. That's why we don't have a Megashi in our area. We have Tronsi, because a tron is a voodoo or archangel, a big voodoo under which other small voodoos or angels are working. And we have tron, and the person in charge of a tron is called a Tronsi, the wife of a tron. And we don't have many Etrons. They are one. They are very powerful, and many other spirits come under. So we don't have a Afa culture in our area. What we have is Tobi Zikpi, the ancestral stool, the stool upon which the ancestors sit, or the gathering, the communal gathering place of the ancestors, which is the ancestral stool. And then we have the rivers. Then we have a duli, which is like apeli. Apeli means only for individual house, but the one that controls the whole town is called a duli. And then a tron and rivers. That's what we deal with in my Ewe area where I come from. One thing a lot of people should have to understand, that the Ewe language is not a standard language. There is no standard form of Ewe language. Everybody speaks different dialects, but we are all Ewes. And our ways are also, spiritual ways are also a little bit different. The Ewe that is written in book, which is called the Standard Ewe, came from Germany, because the Deutschland or the Germans were the people who colonized the Ewes, and it is in Germany, where the Germans don't have a standard language. They found it very interesting that Ewe land is just like their land, where there is no standard German or Dutch language. So they have a standard one which is written in books, and we are all using it, because that is the way it is a kind of standard that every other people can understand. So it is also with our spiritual differences. There are certain parts of Ewe land that doesn't do anything with Afa. It's only those of us who are seeking knowledge that have gone far into learning Fa and learning other things from people. We, just with these four this thing, in my shrine, in my grandfather's shrine, even though my grandfather had gone to get Afa, but naturally or normally or usually, with these four coverings like this, they can tell the whole story of what is to come and what is not to come, how spirits are talking and what they are saying. They just throw it and then they look into it. See, they fetch water in a calabash and they tell you. So we are all not Afa people. But then the South, because they have associated with Benin, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, Afa came through that line to them. And it came on that coastal line. But we, those who are inside the northern area or the central areas, we are very far away from the coast. And we have never had Afa unless it was brought from the south into our area. So, but then that doesn't mean that we don't have our own spiritual guidance and knowledge. And I teach the spiritual knowledge of my people. So Nana, Afa does not cut across everywhere, and the songs also does not cut across everywhere. There are so many people in my area where I come from who do not even know anything about Afa. They even anything that you do like this, so it's Afa Kaka, whether it is the real Afa reading or not, they just think so. That is how they look at it, because Afa is not part of our culture. But Afa is a good thing to learn. That's why I have learned it.
Now we are on YouTube.
Okay.
Some are complaining that
we left their questions out. Yes, that's why I say people should go there. We are sorry, those on the YouTube, we have not left your questions. We are trying as much as possible to get your questions answered. We will answer your questions. Yes, so we are now on YouTube, so we are going. Yes, go ahead with the YouTube question. Yeah, hello, Otis. How are you? Long time. How is your life? How are things going with you? I'm grateful that you joined.
I've been trying to get a reading from you for over a month. I tried to contact you through Facebook, but never get a response.
Oh, Jay, you rather? How come you rather you couldn't get to me? Sorry, maybe because maybe the messages that you are sending is not getting to me directly, and maybe it's on Revolution platform or on our our email. But then try to get onto African Magic Temple and Revolution. They will give you a WhatsApp auto information. Send me a message on that WhatsApp number. It will come directly to me, and then I will be able to schedule a reading for you. Okay. So Otis, send that to me, and then we'll schedule a reading immediately for you. Maybe by tomorrow, or we can schedule a reading. Sorry that you've been trying to get me, but I'm surprised that you of all people. Yeah. Okay. David Coppin, yes.
Says what are vevets? And do you use them in every tradition?
He said what are
Veve?
Yes, the Evers are the people who call it Veve before it came to Haiti.
He said you use them in every tradition as in Haiti.
The Veve is every word. It's not the Haitian word. So it came from the Evers to the Haitians, or the Evers took it to Haiti. Veve is every word. And we call it Onya Veve. When you do it, the original way of doing Veve is corn flour and red palm oil. Then you make Veve. Then you spread it for the spirits. In Haiti, you are using it to draw the seal of the vodus and all these things. In every culture, honestly speaking, we don't even use it for drawing seals. We just give the spirits and then pour it at certain areas, and the spirits come and do their own work if you know which spirit you are working with. Even at the ancestral stool, which we call Togbe Zipi, which is the chieftaincy stool, when we are feeding the stool, the first food they will give to the stool is Veve. So we use it because the Veve is everywhere. It's coming from every culture before coming to Haiti. Go ahead with the other questions on YouTube.
The artist says, I can see you. Okay,
It's also saying, the artist is saying, can you still be initiated into your practice even you are an initiate of Palo Mayombe?
You can be initiated 100,000,000 times. It does not matter, because each time that you got a new spirit and you want to work with that spirit, you must be initiated into it. Initiation is not just one single time somebody initiate you somewhere and then you carry that on your head. Everywhere you go, you say you have been initiated. What are you initiated into? Whichever spirit that you need to connect with, you must be initiated into its order. That's why if there are more than millions of spirits, so if you want to work with them, then you have to be initiated into their order. You cannot be initiated into some vodu called Maduguri, and then when you come to Hokwe, and then you say because you were initiated in Maduguri, so means when you come to Hokwe, you can work. No, because the spirits in Hokwe are not from Maduguri, and the Maduguri spirits are not from Hokwe. So if you want to work with the spirits in Hokwe, you have to be initiated into the spirits in Hokwe. And if you have been initiated in the Maduguri spirit already before coming, then you can use the knowledge of what you have been initiated into, so that when you are initiated into the Hokwe spirits, you can use them to blend to work. That's how it is. Whether you are initiated into Palo Mayombe or whatever. If you want to learn anything new, you need to be initiated into it. Sometimes the initiations they have given you are even wrong. Wrong in the sense that you have been initiated, but you can't use it. Because when you are initiated properly, whatever you are initiated into, whether it is Palo Mayombe, Santeria, Oricha, or whatever you are initiated into, you must be able to use it for your benefit. It is not just like getting initiation and sitting down and looking into the world and nothing happening, and you keep deceiving yourself that I've been initiated. The initiation is to open doors for you, and is able to make you to communicate with the spirit world physically and spiritually and practically. You don't get initiation and then sit down and have it on a piece of paper, put it in your room and say, I am initiated. Initiation should be able to let you work with the spirit world.
Verse 1 says, I was told through Ifa divination that women in my family were Iyami, and I as a man has inherited Iyami or Ajay energy. Any advice for me, Baba?
Yes, verse 1. You see, the Ajay, what does it mean? In Ebe, we call Iyami Minana. In Beni, they call Minono. But it's the same, Ajay. We too, we call it Ajay. But what is the word Ajay when you want to look it in the context of the Ewe and the Yoruba language? In Ewe, Ajay means to show. Ajay, something that shows, something that shines so other people can see. So if you, by nature, I know in Yoruba they say something like Ajay, like a GJ, Ajay, or I mean so many things. I forgot my Yoruba very much, but I used to speak long time ago, about 30, 40 years ago. I was speaking Yoruba, but I have lost it. But then it's fine. I can remember a few words in Yoruba. What do you call it? So if you have inherited Ajay through your family line or your lineage, then you must find which way to use that Ajay to benefit yourself and benefit society. But then, if you don't learn it that way, because everything in life is positive and negative. If you want to help humanity, you will probably stand mostly on the positive side. And if you want to destroy humanity, you will probably stand on the negative side. But to blend negative and positive is what life is. So what you need is to learn how to blend the energies that are with you, so that you can use it for your own benefit and the benefit of humanity. That's what advice I can give you.
Seal Prince. It says, how can you use vodu to help a business person or trader to grow?
When they do a reading, whatever the voodoo gives, advice they give that they should use for you, that's what they will do, and you will see the changes. I am not voodoo, I am only a voice of the voodoos. So whenever you want to know anything, we consult the voodoo. That's what we call the reading. And the voodoos will give us guidance what to do for you to make things change for you.
Musings about Africa. Say good afternoon, Papa.
Hello, good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
Thank you to your team, to you and your team for the insightful, thoughtful informative content.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you joined us.
The same question. It says in one of the other videos you mentioned ancient Egypt. Is there any relationship between voodoo and ancient Egypt or an ancient Egyptian religion? If so, what is it?
Okay,
Musing about Africa.
Okay, you see, a lot of people believe that civilization started from Egypt or from the Nile Delta. But the truth is that when the Egyptian kingdom of pharaohs was existing, there were other kingdoms too in other parts of Africa that were existing. It was not only the pharaohs that were, not everybody was in Egypt. There were other kingdoms. But then, because Egypt at that time was like the center of learning, a lot of people were going towards Egypt. And because the pharaohs were so powerful, they had dominance over other smaller kingdoms. So people will pay taxes and everything to the Egyptians because they have soldiers and people who will supervise and go other places of Africa. I remember seeing some videos and reading certain things about Ethiopia, kings and everything taking things to the pharaoh for protection. Just like what we are seeing today, we have NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is the superpowers, the G5 are controlling, or the NATO as a bloc, where many other countries have joined into NATO for what? For protection. America is one of the big voices in NATO alliance. So what is happening is that at the time of Egypt too, a lot of other smaller kingdoms have aligned themselves with Egypt and they pay taxes to Egypt. But their kingdom was not Egyptian kingdom. They are also kings and all this in their own area, in their own capacity, but they also pay homage and tribute to the bigger power at the time. I have heard from some of my teachers that the Aves are a very old tribe, even before the Egyptians. But the Aves, part of the Aves were also in Egypt. And maybe there were even some of the Ave people who also became kings or pharaohs at that time. That one I cannot specifically point out. But the Aves believe that they have come across a very long journey into Africa, all the way from the Pacific, and came all the way to Africa and settled in Africa and form their own Eve kingdom. And they have gone through China, Japan, Egypt, Israel, Arab land, and all these things before reaching this place where they settle now. And they had influences from those people. They had also influenced those people. And finally, the way and the reason the Eves know so much about herbs, I heard, whether that is true or it's not true, I don't know, that the Eves were taking care of goats and sheep when they were in Egypt. And they have to go grazing these animals. And this is how they got to know the knowledge of herbs. The herbs that the animals eat when they are sick, and all these informations they learn. And that's why the Aves are very good in herbs. That's what I have heard. I have not confirmed it. I have not researched it anyway. But this is what I have heard. So the question you are asking is if they can do what?
I was asking if
the voodoo. So this is what I know about the Aves. They came through Egypt. Definitely, they came through Egypt before settling where they are settling. But I don't think we have hieroglyphics and all those kind of things in our Ave voodoo. Our voodoo is totally different. It's from Yeve. Yeah, question should come. We are too long.
Verse 1 says, thank you, Baba, blessings and guidance to you and your family.
Yes.
Separate says, how can you help? Okay.
There is a question there from Ras 1 which is asking about sleepwalking. Sleepwalker. Don't jump people's question. They will come and complain later.
I'm here, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I was asking this question. You answered. You said, how can you help a business person to grow?
Yeah, when a business person does a reading, whatever the direction the voodoos give or the oracle give, that's what we will follow.
Even though they are far.
Yes, even if they are far away, we can still do, because God or spirits don't have restrictions of time, person, and distance. They can be anywhere at any time. That's why they are called spirits. They are not bounded by boundaries.
Raswan says, Baba, do you know what the term sleepwalker means in spiritual context?
No, it's not a spiritual context. It's a sleepwalker. Usually means you wake up from your sleep, and sometimes you carry something into your mind before going to sleep, and then all of a sudden, before you know, you woke up and you think that you are the thing you are dreaming about, or whatever you carry into your dream. You wake up and you are walking. You don't even know what you are going, where you are going, but in your mind you know, but people around you will know what you are thinking. I remember a long time ago when I was a child, we had planned to go to see the movie. In those days there was nothing called video and all this thing. We have movies coming and we go to the theater and watch the movies. And one day we all planned to go and watch the movie. You know, my father and all people, they don't allow us to go. Sometimes we have to jump through the window to go and watch the movie. So I went into sleep and everybody left me. So when I woke up, I remember that we were going to go to watch the movie, and then I woke up and I started running, and people didn't know where I was. Then they chased me and they got me. But then in my mind, I was going to the movie. And maybe even that time the movie had already closed, but at that time I did not know. I just was going there. This is kind of sleepwalking. So when you sleepwalk, when people say you sleepwalk, there are some in the movies which are just stories, but the real ones are there. You wake up thinking that you are going to accomplish something, but somehow physically your body is your mind knows what it wants, but the body doesn't know what to do, and people see that you are a sleepwalker. If that's the kind of question you are asking, then that's how I understand it. But I've seen the Hollywood one too. People are walking as if they are zombie. I don't believe those ones.
Musing about what the Bible says, thank you so much, Papa, for the insight.
Thank you too.
I appreciate the clarity.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful.
Some tell us that to really know ourselves as African, we have to go all the way back to ancient Egypt.
No. A lot of people in the diaspora, especially, they keep talking about Egypt. Why do you go to Egypt? Who do you know there now? Arabs have taken Egypt up, and then you are thinking you are going to Egypt. They don't even like you. You say you want to go there. Who are you going to meet? All the stories about Egypt is in Hollywood, and it is all just glorifying white people and Arabs. The black man's story has been lost in Egypt, and then you think you are going to who? You have to be very careful and very real when you are doing things. Don't just dream and think your dream is going to work. No, there are certain dreams done that does not come into this. No black man can go back to Egypt now and reclaim anything. You can only go as a tourist to look at things, and the stories there, they will tell you that it was their people. But then we also know that it was our people, because all the Sphinx and all the pyramids have shown that the lips and the noses were black people. So black people, the white people wouldn't have made the lips and nose of black people on their Egyptian statue. So that alone tells us that they were black people, the Nubians. All the questions finished? Give me one more question and let me close down. Somebody who... Yeah, we'll finish soon. Because I know a lot of people at home.
King Elijah says, how can someone know exactly what date he or she was born, since those days there was no birth certificate?
Yes, King Elijah, it's a very interesting question. But then in our culture, people usually don't have dates as such. So, but they use events to represent births. So, this person was born when Kofi's grandfather died. So if people can find the date of Kofi's grandfather's death, then they can calculate your birth closer to that time. That is what our people use in the past. But whether you know your actual day of birth or you don't know your actual day of birth, it does not mean that you cannot be in voodoo or you cannot do spirituality. Your day of birth, your date of birth is not only the things that are used in our African traditional spirituality. No, they are secondary. We don't use dates of birth or date of birth, especially date of birth we don't. But usually your name, which will automatically bear the day you were born. If you are born on Monday, you are a Kojo. If you are born on a Friday, you'll be called Kofi in our language. So that alone is enough for a voodoo priest to be able to guide you and let you go. But then if you are born in a country where you don't have days as a descent, when they are doing a reading, the oracle will tell which day to use to work for you. Is it finished? Okay, thank you very much, all of you, for joining us and asking your questions for this very interesting time. We have been in this for about 3 good hours now, and I hope some of you or most of you have gotten some insight into what questions others have asked. I'm very grateful for you all joining. In this our time of a lockdown, I thank God and the ancestors, the spirits that I work with, and my 2 boys, Seiram and Kofi, who have spent all the time to set up this video section or network for us, and also to their teacher, Mr. Said Nyaku, who is in the house. He cannot come here physically, but he is communicating with them and telling them what to do. I'm thanking them to Sena and Pele in Japan for interacting and helping us to keep this Facebook live revolution question and answer section going on. And I'm grateful to everything that is, and to all of you who are joining us. Please, let's keep the conversation going. And then those who are trying to contact me and not contacting me, please go onto Revolution page or African Magic page and send a message, and then the auto messenger will give you our telephone number that you can get me on. And by doing so, I'll be in touch with you, especially with Otis. You tried you tried to get me, but you say you were not getting me. Sorry for that. But then now that I know that you're trying to, I'll go through all the messages and as well as the emails and whatever, so that I'll get back to you and we'll do a reading for you. And also Nora, we'll be getting ready, and then I'll give you a call after I am ready. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining Revolution Live question and answer section. We have transmitted from African Magic Temple in Accra on the Spinters Road. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. Please keep the conversation going on, even if we are not live, and share this moment, and people can ask more questions, and I'll be online trying to answer your questions. I may not be able to answer all of you, but I'll try to answer. Thank you very much, and have a good week. I wish you all stay safe, and make sure you protect yourself from the COVID-19. Make sure when you are in the public place, you cover your nose with a mask. Wash your hands all the time with soap and sanitizer. And I wish and hope to see you again next week. Thank you very much.